brought to water, and after cooling the bath, threw onto the ground the little that was left over. "You dunce," the master scolded him. "Why didn't you give the rest of the water to the plants? What right have you to waste even a drop of water in this temple?" The young student attained Zen in that instant. He changed his name to Tekisui, which means a drop of water. Tosui was the Zen master who left the formalism of temples to live under a bridge with beggars. When he was getting very old, a friend helped him to earn his living without begging. He showed Tosui how to collect rice and manufacture vinegar from it, and Tosui did this until he passed away. While Tosui was making vinegar, one of the beggars gave him a picture of the Buddha. Tosui hung it on the wall of his hut and put a sign beside it. The sign read, "Mr. Amida Buddha, this little room is quite narrow. I can let you remain as a transient, but don't think I'm asking you to help me to be reborn in your paradise."
Are you looking to establish your business using an address other than your home? Wish you had a professional business address and phone number instead of your home address and personal number? Wouldn't it be great if you could read and manage your business mail from anywhere? iPostal One can help. With an iPostal One virtual business address, it's easy to stay connected, protect your privacy, and enhance your business image. You'll be able to receive mail and packages from any carrier and register your business using your new business address. View and manage your mail the day we receive it using our app or website. You can even pick it up.
Shoichi was a one-eyed teacher of Zen, sparkling with enlightenment. He taught his disciples in Tofuku Temple. Day and night, the whole temple stood in silence. There was no sound at all. Even the reciting of sutras was abolished by the teacher. His pupils had nothing to do but meditate. When the master passed away, an old neighbor heard the ringing of bells and the recitation of sutras. Then she knew Shoichi had gone. Buddha said, "I consider the positions of kings and rulers as that of dust motes. I observe treasures of gold and gems as so many bricks and pebbles. I look upon the finest silken robes as tattered rags. I see myriad worlds of the universe as small seeds of fruit, and the greatest lake in India as a drop of oil on my foot. I perceive the teachings of the world to be the illusion of magicians. I discern the highest conception of emancipation as a golden brocade in a dream, and view the holy path of the illuminated ones as flowers appearing in one's eyes. I see meditation as a pillar of a mountain, nirvana as a nightmare of daytime. I look upon the judgment of right and wrong as the serpentine dance of a dragon, and the rise and fall of beliefs as but traces left by the four seasons." Nan-in, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. Nan-in served tea. He poured his visitor's cup full, then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he no longer could restrain himself. "It is over full, no more will go in." "Like this cup," Nan-in said. "You are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" Gudo was the emperor's teacher of his time. Nevertheless, he used to travel alone as a wandering mendicant. Once when he was on his way to Edo, the cultural and political center of the shogunate, he approached a little village named Takenaka. It was evening and a heavy rain was falling. Gudo was thoroughly wet. His straw sandals were in pieces. At a farmhouse near the village, he noticed 4 or 5 pairs of sandals in the window and decided to buy some dry ones. The woman who offered him the sandals, seeing how wet he was, invited him to remain for the night in her home. Gudo accepted, thanking her. He entered and recited a sutra before the family shrine. He then was introduced to the woman's mother and to her children. Observing that the entire family was depressed, Gudo asked, "What was wrong?" "My husband is a gambler and a drunkard," the housewife told him. "When he happens to win, he drinks and becomes abusive. When he loses, he borrows money from others. Sometimes when he becomes thoroughly drunk, he does not come home at all. What can I do?" "I will help him," said Gudo. "Here is some money. Get me a gallon of fine wine and something good to eat. Then you may retire. I will meditate before the shrine." When the man of the house returned about midnight, quite drunk, he bellowed, "Hey, wife, I'm home. Have you something for me to eat?" "I have something for you," said Gudo. "I happened to be caught in the rain, and your wife kindly asked me to remain here for the night. In return, I have bought some wine and fish, so you might as well have them." The man was delighted. He drank the wine at once and laid himself down on the floor. Gudo sat in meditation beside him. In the morning, when the husband awoke, he had forgotten about the previous night. "Who are you? Where do you come from?" he asked Gudo, who still was meditating. "I am Gudo of Kyoto, and I am going on to Edo," replied the Zen master. The man was utterly ashamed. He apologized profusely to the teacher of his emperor. Gudo smiled. "Everything in this life is impermanent," he explained. "Life is very brief. If you keep on gambling and drinking, you will have no time left to accomplish anything else, and you'll cause your family to suffer too." The perception of the husband awoke as if from a dream. "You are right," he declared. "How can I ever repay you for this wonderful teaching? Let me see you off and carry your things a little way." "If you wish," assented Gudo. The two started out. After they had gone 3 miles, Gudo told him to return. "Just another 5 miles, he begged Gudo. They continue on. "You may return now," suggested Gudo. "Another 10 miles, the man replied. "Return now," said Gudo when the 10 miles had been passed. "I'm going to follow you all the rest of my life," declared the man. Modern Zen teachers in Japan spring from the lineage of a famous master who was the successor of Gudo. His name was Munan, the man who never turned back. The Zen master Hakuin was praised by his neighbors as one living a pure life. A beautiful Japanese girl whose parents owned a food store lived near him. Suddenly, without any warning, her parents discovered she was with child. This made her parents angry. She would not confess who the man was, but after much harassment, at last named Hakuin. In great anger, the parents went to the master. "Is that so?" was all he would say.
"I think I know now what I never knew before, the meaning of the common saying, a fool you can neither bend nor break. Pray heaven I may never have a wise fool for my friend. There is nothing more intractable. My resolve is fixed. Why? So madmen say too, but the more firmly they believe in their delusions, the more they stand in need of treatment. Oh, when shall I see Athens and its Acropolis again? Miserable man, art thou not contented with the daily sights that meet thine eyes? Canst thou behold aught greater or nobler than the sun, moon, and stars? Than the outspread earth and sea? If indeed thou apprehendest him who administers the universe, if thou bearest him about within thee, canst thou still hanker after mere fragments of stone and fine rock? When thou art about to bid farewell to the sun and moon itself, wilt thou think I know now what I never knew before? The meaning of the common saying, a fool you can neither bend nor break. Pray heaven. I think I know.
And I hope I can repay it in some way. That's what I have. When 1760 like this, learn us when we are submission. No, you just
Are not sweet, sweet words are not sincere. Good men are not argumentative. The argumentative are not good. The wise are not erudite. The erudite are not wise. The sage does not take to hoarding. The more he lives for others, the fuller is his life. The more he gives, the more he abounds. The way of heaven is to benefit, not to harm. The way of the sage is to do his duty, not to strive with anyone. The Chinese text reproduced here is from Lao Che Lao edition, compiled by Tsai and Ting. Of heaven may be likened to the stretching of a composite bow. The upper part is depressed while the lower is raised. If the bowstring is too long, it is cut short. If it is too short, it is added to. The way of heaven diminishes the more than enough to supply the less than enough. The way of man is different. It takes from the less than enough to swell the more than enough. Who, except a man of the Tao, can put his superabundant riches to the service of the world? Therefore, the sage does his work without setting any store by it, accomplishes his task without dwelling upon it. He does not want his merits to be seen. Nothing in the world is softer and weaker than water, but for attacking the hard and strong there is nothing like it. For nothing can take its place. That the weak overcomes the strong and the soft overcomes the hard. This is something known by all but practiced by none. The heaven may be likened to the stretching of a composite bow. The upper part is depressed while the lower is raised. If the bowstring is too long, it is cut short. If it is too short, it is added to. The way of heaven diminishes the more than enough to supply the less than enough. The way of man is different. It takes from the less than enough to swell the more than enough. Who, except a man of the Tao, can put his superabundant riches to the service of the world? Therefore, the sage does his work without setting any store by it, accomplishes his task without dwelling upon it. He does not want his merits to be seen. Nothing in the world is softer and weaker than water, but for attacking the hard and strong there is nothing like it. For nothing can take its place. That the weak of he who is brave and daring will be killed. He who is brave and not daring will survive. Of these two kinds of bravery, one is beneficial while the other proves harmful. Some things are detested by heaven, but who knows the reason? Even the sage is baffled by such a question. It is heaven's way to conquer without striving, to get responses without speaking, to induce the people to come without summoning, to act according to plans without haste. Vast is heaven's net, sparse meshed it is, and yet nothing can slip through it. He who is...
You like those, Kyler? Those are on my YouTube channel. These are like 60-second wisdom clips. Hey, Dr. Nick. Hey, Edmund, do your Cindy Stumpo impersonation.
all right. Memorial Day impressions, Edmund.
You think these fucking Mexicans give a fuck about Memorial Day? I got 300 fucking Mexicans on 10 different fucking work sites building 10 fucking multi-million-dollar fucking homes. And you're gonna tell me these people don't belong here? That we're just gonna Deport them? No, Cindy. No, Cindy. No. Nobody's talking about deporting anybody, Cindy. Trump is a megalomaniac. He's a crazy person. Yeah, you're fucking right. He's crazy, but nobody's crazier than Cindy fucking Stumpo. And nobody's crazier than Grant Cardone. Grant, take it away. Guys, listen up. The government's broke. You know it. I know it. But if you just send me $999, I'm going to give you access to my online university. And Gary Cardone, my brother, is a Bitcoin master. And we've got a lot of incredible videos and business books we want to send you. And then we want you to send us more money, of course, but that comes later. Cindy, take it away. This is Grant Cardone. God bless America. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Thank you, fucking Grant Cardone, for keeping it real. Jonathan, take it away. Nelson Apega. We're live right now in the chatter. And we're cross-streaming this across multiple platforms. If you haven't downloaded Chatter yet, guys, just go to the App Store and just download it and click it. Chatter. Thank you. This is Cindy Stumpo again. I just want to say something special for the veterans out there who might be listening. If you haven't taken advantage of your VA loan, talk to my mortgage broker here, Jonathan Bingham. Jonathan, take it away. Yeah. Veterans. If you haven't taken advantage yet of your VA loan, it's like the greatest financial advantage and structure you can possibly get. No money down, guys. Hit me up. I'm a national broker. My national NMLS number is 3564209666LLG. This is Jonathan Bing. Boom! Take it away, Grant Cardone.
How about the Monica impression?
He's guilty of capital punishment. And if we let these people continue to murder us and we don't call attention to it, well, then you know that eventually they're going to knock on your door. And if you let all the good people die before you die, well, then eventually they're going to come to your house and kill you too. So just listen. Let's work together on solving these problems before everybody dies. And then you could listen to me, never go to the gym, never read a book. I'm just a blob with a good heart. But that's all that America's all about, having a good heart. Uncle Sam's got a good heart, but he acts a lot. If you want, freedom isn't free, everybody. Freedom isn't free, everybody. Never forget. It was the sacrifices of all the dead veterans, the millions of soldiers throughout all the years. Oh, JB's here. Hi, JB. We're doing impersonations. I just did Cindy Stumpo, Nelson Apega, Jonathan Bing, Grant Cardone. God bless America. And I could do JB if you want to hear my JB impersonation. No. You don't even have to mute up. That's your number one catchphrase, JB. No. I'm just having a conversation. You don't even have to mute up. We're just having a conversation. Mano a mano. You don't even have to mute up. What don't you understand about not having to mute up? You don't got to mute up. All right. Let's get back on track. Dr. Australia's a troll on the goop. So happy Memorial Day. God bless you now. Toxic clown house spam is what generally happens here. You want to hear my Cindy again? What do you mean you want to deport the fucking Mexicans? I've got 10 fucking construction sites right now with at least 10 Mexicans at every fucking construction site, Grant. Jonathan, you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I got 100 people working on 10 fucking houses right now. Life isn't easy in these trades. The permits, the licensure, the bond. Oy, hey, Grant, you know what it's like. You manage 145,000 fucking apartments, right, Grant?
That's right.
It's right, guy.
It's like the same person, essentially.
God bless the veterans, because if it wasn't for the veterans, I wouldn't even have this real estate portfolio right now. And my grandfather fought in World War II. He fought the Germans. He killed the Nazis. He won liberation for our people in the West. Otherwise, it would have been a dark tyranny. It would have been the end of the world.
Which is probably true, but I was playing a General Patton speech today, and he was talking about how he obliterated Germany and Austria and he destroyed them. And 40,000 people in his divisions died in those battles. 40,000 Americans. It's a lot of people. A lot of people died. But anyways, all communication is 5 things. This is my opinion. Projection, hypnosis, spam, politics, and you know what the 5th one is? All communication.
No.
All communication is, I gave you 4. What was the 5th one I came up with today? 99% of everything is basically spam. It's up to you to choose that 1%. Otherwise you'll be a victim of spam. And trust me, people will victimize you now through social audio spam. You have to, being the green bean is, the best way to do it. But it's just a question of how you spend your time. Because your time is really dictated by what you are listening to. And if you want to program yourself like a computer, I do it. It's working for me. But I don't know if listening to Jonathan Bingham NLMS number is 0586662 is going to give you the programming you're looking for. Yeah, I've got great musical instruments. My greatest.
Have you ever done the Steve Appella one impression?
All right. No mentioning of former speakers. Direct your questions and comments at me. No former speakers. My name is Dr. Steve Appel, and I have been an online troll for approximately 25 years. I converted to atheism when I was only 18 years old, and I realized that the man in the sky is just a figment of our imaginations. But if you're looking for top-notch legal representation in terms of Social Security, disability, and workers' compensation, for over 25 years, Dr. Steve Appel, an online social media content creator, not an actual attorney, barely a paralegal, would like to work with you to help you get all of your workers' rights and compensation. Become a parasite of the California socialist system, sucking America dry. This is your local atheist and friend, Dr. Steve Appel. Call me Uncle Steve, everybody. Hi, kiddos. This is your Uncle Steve. Hold on, let me take a drag of this cigarette and have some more whiskey as I debate whether or not I should blow my fucking brains off live on the air as an atheist. No. Kind of a joke. I went dark there at the end though with the that joke, but the point is, there is no point. So if you're gonna come here and do the same show every time, I say consistency is a good thing because it's constant. I think people like repetition and constancy.
He's the one that always does the Ask the Atheist rooms, right?
Yeah, he's blocked all of my accounts, so I haven't seen him in many months now, which I feel like has been a good thing for me. And see, that's the thing about being your true, authentic self, is if you get blocked, it's what you actually desire, because I want to remove these people from my communication stream. And by maybe harassing them or trolling them or letting them know I'm recording what they're saying, that basically frees up more of my time for me.
Wait, are you blocked out of chillism?
No, but
because
they kick me regularly.
What about news. Well, Debate the News doesn't. All it is, Debate the News now is Jonathan Bing. He's putting on Chatter live thing, and he's just doing the replays on Clown House. I think that's what he does now. I don't know.
What a life. Am I one of these retards too? See, it's easy to forget that I'm like a bald, middle-aged man now. Like to think I'm still like some kind of like football star that I never really was. But the point is, football stars and boxers, I think they have traumatic brain injury, you know, and I'm actually, I've been banged in the head many times, and I don't think I have TBI, but.
Have you seen the movie Concussion?
No.
It's a really good movie, but it talks all about that, like all the football players. Like, I'm sure you've seen that documentary on like, it's called like Broke, about all these athletes that went broke, and like the majority of them are like football players.
Yeah.
Dude, the stupid shit that those guys. One of the guys was giving one of his friends, or I think it was his brother, an allowance of like $6,000 a month, right? And this is back in like the 90s. And all of a sudden, like, everyone heard his like good contract. He started having all these new friends, and he lost like 4 houses and like 3 cars in a year. Because like they're stupid. They don't understand. Like, buying a $5 million house is one thing, but you got to maintain that bitch, and that bitch doesn't cost like $200 a month to heat and cool. It costs like $2,000.
Well, I'm just merely comment, like, you know, I think Dr. Pepe on here, you know, I think he has TBI, because if you actually listen to what he says and how many times he said it and what his like communication here is, I mean, I think you can judge a person by what they actually say, you know, and do a very quick diagnostic in terms of somebody's intelligence. But then you have to question, why the fuck am I spending time even talking with this person or listening to this person? Now, I record everything I do, but it blows my mind. I just think people actually hear, there's a small percentage of people that are recording. Like, there's people like Dr. Australia down there. That is the BTR of Nora Bendur, and you know, she records. But the thing is, I think people that are recording are actually doing like good work, because in terms of surveillance and content creation and just artistic experience, I mean, these are all therapeutic things. I mean, creation is the ultimate form of you know, therapy in a way, because you need to be expressive and liberal or free to think and feel and say and do. I mean, unencumbered, because otherwise, how do you out process that underlying thought or tendency which you want to get out to find out whether it's a bad idea, you know?
Well, I think it's hilarious when you go into the Palestinian rooms and troll them. Those are hilarious. When you start fighting with them, those are hilarious.
Yeah, I'm heavily blocked too across all of my accounts. So I don't know.
So what is that? Who is that one guy, the Israeli guy, that you were in there trolling the room, and we were talking about the Federal Reserve? I can't think of his name.
I don't know which one.
I don't know. It was a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago. We were just talking about the Federal Reserve. Abby was in there. The one that lives in like Las Vegas or Pennsylvania or wherever.
Yeah, I've had a lot of good experiences trolling these people. You know.
But yeah, that guy was getting so pissed that he was like, "All right, you stop, Edmund, you stop," because you're trolling the Palestinians the whole time.
Yeah, I can send you know, ripples up their spinal column with my obnoxious troll, and I have conditioned them with my troll in a way. But I'm heavily blocked. Doctor, happy Memorial Day. God bless you now. I was hoping maybe you could say a prayer for the room and sing us a song.
I would say, Dear Lord, on this day of remembrance for the veterans that gave all, Lord, I know all the veterans gave some, but some gave all in this day of remembrance of them, even the ones that, Lord, passed away even after the wars, Lord, but they're gone now. We remember them also, and that we think of the sacrifices that they provided for our freedoms based on the times away from their family, Lord. And I hope that in heaven, Lord, that you're able to keep them with you and reunite them with the family of the youthful innocence that I know that we are the children that you want us to be. In your name I pray. Amen.
So Connie in my YouTube live, she writes, it's easier to judge a person by what they do. But don't you think we do what we say?
The veteran is dead. Oh.
Well, it depends.
Well, no, it doesn't. If you make your yes and your no, you always know exactly where that person comes from.
True.
Well, there's this saying that the Native Americans have, which says, if you can say it, it is not true, which is the same thing as saying, the more I think, the more I speak, the further from the truth I get. So it's a trick question, basically. But I think that succession should be good thoughts, good actions, good outcomes. So the good thoughts part is what you're saying. And I think you can judge a person by what they say rather rapidly. And that's what we do as, communication humans. We quickly evaluate and do an analysis of value immediately within 3 seconds. I mean, what do you think that whole television show, Name That Tune, is all about? It's this, we're just musical instruments. So some people want to play the same song over and over again, do the same dance over and over again. They don't have 100,000 variables to their tune. They've got only a couple beats. So don't skip a beat. And I
think when you're oversimplifying it a little bit when you're talking about like how human nature, yeah, we do play, name that tune. Oh, I can do it in 5 notes. So I can do it in 4. Like, yeah, but we are like definitely creatures of pattern recognition, especially when it comes to like an auditory stimulus. But we're also visual, and we're also sensual, and we have, biases based on our preferences, and those overcomplicate, the simplicity of just we are musical instruments.
So, the more I observe ants, the more I appreciate intelligent design, knowing that ants are so smart in terms of communication. It's unbelievable when you actually observe ants and how they systematically program and communicate and execute and logistics and all this activity that ants do, and how intelligent it is and how small they are. I just see that as being like the absolute mirror of man. It's like ant and man, man and ant. I mean, we are so similar because it's just pure programming. So, I mean, we are so much more intelligent. Um, it's unbelievable how much more intelligent we are, but I know that most of my life is, like when I look at these books, I know that I didn't write any of this shit, but I can read it and experience it in the now. And an ant is literally just almost mindlessly drone like going about its activities for energy harvesting. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
those are just
but
thoughts.
other than like, communicating like, hey, I figured out a new way to bite this like leaf off to make it fall quicker. Like, what are they innovating? Like, are they building a race car? Like, the simplicity of their brain.
They're energy harvesting. They're looking for food. That's what they're doing. They're looking for energy.
also smelling chemical trails and following one another, and they're communicating like, "Hey, I saw that there was this piece of sugar over there. Follow this trail." And then the next thing, this dude fucking takes off. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna find that fucking sugar cube." Like, yeah, they communicate very well, but it's on a basic level with no real like innovation other than survival. Like, you're stuck in Maslow's like humans' needs, their hierarchies of needs. Air, water, food. A couple minutes without air, a couple days without water, a couple weeks without food. Then you need safety and security. And people are shooting shit again today. I guess I need to. But like after we get that safety and security, then you have to build you a house, because it does you no good to get a house and put it on the side of a volcano. Like you gotta find safety and security, and then build a house. Now you've got a nest. Now you've got where you could actualize as a colony to be able to go out and. Whether you're hunter-gatherers or whatever you are as a creature, obviously humans, we figured out how to do agriculture. Ants don't know how to, grow rows of corn. Maybe I'm a miss, but that's kind of what I'm getting from the gist of the conversation.
And you serve. Qué rico huele. Top out a little more chili and limon.
I'm comfortable, silent.
No, you're good. You're good.
And enjoy.
La 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 lava.
Been a tough day, man.
Yeah.
Man, like every man in my family, like Lieutenant Dan, we go all the way back to the 250 years that this, army that's been alive is. Shit, America doesn't even turn 250 until next year.
Well, America was founded on tax revolt.
On what?
On tax revolt.
I don't
Boston
know
Tea
what.
Party.
Oh, on tax rebellion?
Yeah, revolt.
Revolt. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. You've got. And there goes another mortar. Oh, dude. The problem is we know how to make dynamite around here, and then they throw them in mortars and they chunk them in the air, and they'll have like a quarter stick of dynamite like blow up in the air. These people are fucking stupid. I love them.
Wow. But how many acres do you have?
I have on my property is right at 3/4 of an acre with my house and everything, and then behind it is 52 acres.
But you have your own.
Of cotton field, and right now the cotton field just got picked out because that's a winter crop, and it just got mowed down, refertilized. It'll wait like another 2 weeks, and then it'll turn into corn.
The meaning of the common saying.
But like you have like basically your own garage with hoists, right? Or you have just one hoist.
I have one lift.
Yeah, that's a lift. Yeah.
But I have 2 bays.
Okay.
Like I run my electric bike company out of the other bay.
Okay. Did you finally sell that Porsche, or do you still have it?
Oh no, it's gone. It's way gone. All the Skylines are gone. The S13s are gone. I'm trying to get rid of this last Lexus, and then I'll be down to 1 truck and 1 van. Because at one point I had like 10 vehicles, and it was just stupid. I can't. It's not like I can use them all. It's dumb. But yeah, 1 truck, 1 van, 1 boat.
I'm still trying to convince my friend, like you said, to buy like an older Blazer or something like that. Because he just needs a reliable beater car with the 4.3. Because if that all that is the 350 V8 chopped down, I know it's a solid engine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you get them the S10s and the GMC Sonomas and like the Chevy minivans, the Astro vans. lots of them. Yeah, that motor was yeah. They put that in like a couple of the G bodies, I think. Like the end of the G bodies, they put the 4.3 in there instead of the well. No, was it the 3? Was it 3.8 that was in the Grand National, or the 4.3 with the turbos?
That I don't know.
I think it was the 4.3. It might have been the 3.8.
Those Grand Nationals, man, they sell for so much.
Oh wait, you can't touch one in rough shape for under $100,000.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to find them. Like, if you have
No, I mean I can make one. I just you can't find an original.
correct.
Yeah, I mean I can get a G body. I can clone one, but it is definitely not going to be an original. But I mean, if you're guys going to get something like, honestly, the most prolific motor that's the most reliable from like the Chevy branch of like cheap parts to repair it, get the 5.3 liter V8. That was in freaking everything, and that motor is so like in everything. The parts are dirt cheap. If you ever have to repair like a water pump or something, it might cost you like $60. Like it's not buying like a Bugatti or an Audi, water pump for like $400.
Doc, you remember that there was a 3.4 liter dual overhead cam? That was like GM's voice.
Or they had this. I never remember this. What was that in the Lumina or the Celebrity or something?
Or Oldsmobiles. It was in like the Oldsmobiles.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the reason Oldsmobile folded first.
But no, the older Oldsmobiles had the 3.8. Like the Regency 88 or Delta 88 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you had, and the Buick Optima with the supercharger on it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, they had a lot of that. I mean, I'm a big Chevy fan, so like you're literally in my wheelhouse of. Yeah, you're literally making me happy and not think about Memorial Day right now.